How is everyone? I have most certainly had a challenging day today. However, I think it's so important to show up even on the hard days so that y'all know it can be done, right? You can show up in the best way that you have to help the people that you are meant to help and move forward and do all the things. So if the internet crashes today, I would not be surprised. I couldn't even log on to Zoom. So we're just going to do the best that we can. Welcome to day 3 of Healing Holiday Eating. This is my favorite day, right? Because it kind of wraps everything up and gives you a little bit of a plan moving forward so that you feel more comfortable heading into the holidays with any of the challenges that you've come up with. So the first day we talked about that. You know, what are the things that you have that you're anxious about for the holiday eating? And we reframed those, right? We talked yesterday about comebacks for things that you think could be said to you when you're in a holiday atmosphere, party, family gathering, and having your comebacks. My body, my business. It's my favorite. I'm telling you, you're going to use it. I can't wait until you do. I want to hear it. So with that being said, today we're going to put the me in Merry. Isn't that good? The me and Merry, like Merry Christmas. Okay. Yeah, it's not mine. I just stole it, but I thought it was great. And we're going to talk about healing through self-care. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen or share my screen if I'm speaking in English today, which apparently I'm not. And we're going to talk about holiday self-care. All right. So holiday healing. Nope, just kidding. We're going to go back. Holiday healing self-care. It's got 3 steps to it. Okay. So number 1, you're going to care for yourself physically. You just saw a little preview of that. Like this physical being that you're in has to be taken care of. Okay. And that's your first priority. Your second priority is creating a self-care buffer zone. I like to call that my Luftkugel. I don't even know if that's a real thing. I'll tell you about it in a second. But taking care of yourself and your self-care in creating that buffer zone for yourself. And the third one is totally my favorite. Know your rights. Okay. These are the things that you are entitled to and allowed to have over this holiday season coming up. So first of all, number 1, care for yourself physically. These are all of the things that you think of when you think of traditional self-care, right? Getting enough sleep. Super hard over the holidays, right? Especially if you have responsibilities, children, pets, anything that makes noise in the night, right? Getting some sleep. That's huge. I love the new version of the iPhone that allows you to select how many hours you want. And then you actually have to plan that out, right? Like if you say you're committed to 8 hours of sleep, like what does that look like? It's so good for you. And how do you do that and really put that into play? The phone will actually help you do that with setting your alarm. The second one, joyful movement. No longer called exercise, y'all. It's called joyful movement, okay? And this is because as dieters, lots of times we've used exercise for punishment or to work off food or any of those things, which is not a healthy relationship with exercise, just as we may not have a healthy relationship with food. So we are going to work to do things that bring us joy. That's why I have dancing. Like nothing makes me happier than an impromptu dance party in my kitchen with my children. Usually it's while I'm cooking dinner, but it doesn't matter. Like it's really fun, right? That's the part that gets your blood pumping, gets your heart going. And to be honest, exercise is the least expensive way to boost those chemicals in your brain, right? It's just easy. You always have access to it. You can walk outside, you can walk in your house, you can go up and down your stairs, right? But do things that bring you joy. The next one seems kind of counterintuitive, right? It's you need to make sure your body is nourished. If you work with me after this or stick around anytime at all, you will see that most dieters are actually starving. Whatever size body they are currently residing in, they are generally starving. So you need to make sure you give yourself enough sustenance over the holiday season to actually do the things you want to do and celebrate the way that you want to celebrate. So make sure you're nourishing your body the best way that you possibly can without restrictions, right? Okay, next one. Create a buffer zone. And this is the one I wanted to tell you about. So we're going to create, basically a safe space around yourself so that you feel safe, centered, happy, healing, whole during this time. And where this comes from, like I said, it's called a Luthkugel. I have since tried to look it up on Google. I can't find it. If anyone knows anything about it, please let me know. But I had a professor in college, it was a theater class, explain the idea to us. And every person, every culture, they have different Luthkugels. And Luthkugel is just basically the area around yourself where if someone steps into that area, you kind of go like, ooh, you're in my space, right? So now that space has got a lot bigger for me personally because of COVID, right? In quarantine. So now it's about a 6-foot circle where I feel comfortable, someone coming in. But I want you to think about that space because that is your self-care buffer zone, right? That is the place where you hold your mind, your heart, and your spirit, right? They're just right around you, right? And you need this space to be clear and calm and healing in order to approach these other things we've learned about, right? So this is where all of the other things with self-care come in, you know, the bubble baths, the relaxing, the setting intentions. We'll talk about some of them at the end today, but this is a very important space to keep for yourself, okay? And this is one of those boundaries that I really feel like you need to set, like, this is my space, this is how you can come into my space, and this is how I stay healthy in this space. Next one. This is the right, step number 3, so much fun, okay? So you have the right to all of these things. If you need permission from me, I give you permission. You have the permission for all of these things, okay? But more importantly, you have the right to it, okay? You have the right to have seconds without apologies. If it was delicious, have some more. No need to apologize. You have the right to eat dessert for breakfast. Pumpkin pie is my favorite. And technically, I believe a pumpkin is a fruit. Fruit, vegetable, squash, something. I mean, there is some redeeming quality in there, y'all. Even if there wasn't, you're allowed to have it for breakfast. Say no, thank you. Someone says, I slaved over this. I worked so hard for this. I, did this meal for you. You have the right to say no, thank you. You have the right to maintain your boundaries. We just talked about that. You have the right to not engage in diet talk. That is something you have the right to do, okay? My body, my choices. I'm choosing my mental health right now. However you want to state that to people, simply walk away, but you do not have to listen and or participate in diet talk. You also have the right to honor your fullness. Somebody makes this amazing dinner. Well, aren't you going to try X? Aren't you going to try Z? No, thanks, I'm full. Now, if you want seconds, have seconds. We already talked about that, right? You have the right to that. But you also have the right to say, oh, no, I'm full, I'm good, thank you. The last 2 are the hardest, right? I always save the best for last. You have the right to feel those big feelings, okay? We talked a little bit about that yesterday. Like, they're gonna come up. If you have lost anyone significant, there's going to be grief. If you have exes with children and trying to negotiate things, you're going to have trouble, right? There's going to be big feelings on top of all of your eating feelings, okay? On top of a global pandemic, okay? So you need to leave space to feel those big feelings. And the last one is to enjoy this holiday season no matter what you eat. Right? If you eat chocolate from now through January 2nd, love it, enjoy it. If you eat Captain Crunch from now until January 2nd, yum. If you eat hummus, great. Whatever sounds good to you, eat it, enjoy it, and have an amazing holiday season. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Okay. So some of the healing self-care that we need to look into for our bodies, for our minds, for our souls, and our spirits, okay? One of the most healing things that I have ever started doing is a morning routine. And this can look however you want it to look. I have found my way to be super helpful for me, as I'm sure you will find your way to be super helpful for you. I get up in the morning, I come downstairs, I get up before anyone else so that I can have this time to myself because it's important. The rest of the day does not belong to me, as evidenced by today. And so this morning, you come downstairs, I do some yoga, and then I spend time meditating or doing the breathe and feel. Okay. And I'll talk about that in a second. I'll explain more about the breathe and feel at the end. I've done that in another video, but that way that you have that information, because I think that one's really key. And then I have my coffee, right? And I relax and I get my breakfast and sit down and sort of get ready for the day. But having that little space of like very spiritual time for me allows me to ground myself and center myself so that I'm ready for the other things as they come to me. So morning routine is huge. The next one is take a walk, right? That's almost always available to you, minus snowstorms, hurricanes, things like that. It's an option. Go do it. Set some boundaries. Like, think about, what are my boundaries? Where do I stand on this issue, this thing, and how can I maintain them? It's really, really important. Take a nap. It's one of my personal favorites. Take a nap. Slow down. Oh, well, social media, apparently, but that is slow down social media is what I meant to say there. I apologize. Just kind of take a break, right? Social media, even for healthy people, is rough, right? Even when you're feeling your best, sometimes social media can be difficult. So especially at holiday time, just like notice how much you're on there and how you feel after, and kind of set some boundaries for yourself around that. Keep your working self-care in place. So the things that you already do, make sure you continue those. If you take a daily walk every morning and that makes you feel amazing, continue to do that through the holiday season. Don't pull back on any of your normal self-care, just add more. And that's my general philosophy, right? Add more good in there, but keep that self-care in place. Stay hydrated. That's the easiest one. Well, it's not easy for me, please understand, but that one is one that you just, if you can do that, everything is going to be better. Literally everything. And then, like we said earlier, make space for the big feelings. Like, they're going to come up. So how are you going to deal with those? I do the breathe and feel. You can journal, whatever is good for you. You can go to the therapist. However you feel, you should deal with those feelings. Go for a run, whatever it is for you, but definitely feel those big feelings and leave time for it. One thing I was going to mention in the other section, and I forgot, is you can have a self-care kind of emergency kit, right? Like our kids were talking today about building a tornado kit for downstairs. So what kind of things would go in there for you, right? A self-care, like, I'm just feeling really blue. Like, what could I do? What could I look at? So for me, it would probably be some of my favorite pictures, maybe a love note from my husband, maybe some of those, early Mother's Day cards from my kids. Maybe it is something from my dad that he gave me. Maybe there's a great candle. Lavender is 100% my favorite scent. So maybe a lavender candle there, maybe a craft, maybe a book I love to read, any of those things. Like, having that ready and in a space, like as an SOS self-care kit, holy cow, that would be amazing, right? You could just pull that out and feel your big feelings, right? And then pull that baby out and sort of begin to heal and bring it back. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's really important as we move through this season. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here with the breathe and feel. So the breathe and feel is not mine. It is Caroline Dooner's from the Fuck It Diet. I told you I love her, love her, love her. If anyone ever hears that she is signing up people to teach her method, like, get a hold of me. She is incredible. The breathe and feel. So like we said, dieters really struggle with feeling feelings a lot of times. That tends to be a symptom, right, of actually why we diet, so that we don't have to feel. A lot of people don't feel their feelings. Dieters, we just deal with it with diets. So the breathe and feel is one of those ways that you can actually intentionally spend feeling your feelings. So it freaked me out completely. The first time I read about it, I cried. I was like, I can't do that. But now it's become an integral part of my morning routine. Okay. So I just lay down on my couch downstairs and I set my timer. I do have a smartwatch, which I think helps, because when my timer goes off, it just vibrates, which is nice. It's not like jarring me out of that like that. But if you have another way to do it, that's totally fine. I do recommend setting the 5-minute timer. This is not something you want to extend for a long period of time. That could lead to a whole bunch of different emotions that maybe you're not ready to deal with by yourself. And I completely understand that maybe are better done on a therapist couch, right? But 5 minutes is enough time to like really sit and think. Okay. So you simply lay down, close your eyes, and lay there. It's different than meditating, right? In meditating, you're trying to really, push the ideas away as they come, to have a clear and focused mind on nothing. But with the breathe and feel, you're allowing it to come, right? You're allowing the things to come in. And with that, you're going to start to notice, ooh, like my chest is tensing up, like what's happening? Like, and then you might feel the emotion, right? And you have a memory or something that comes up and you think about it and you just breathe into it and you feel. That's it. There's no magic wand, but it does allow you to begin to process those emotions instead of what some of us have been doing, which is just shove it down, shove it down. Okay, we're going to start breathing and feeling. Okay, I love it. It's such an easy idea. And again, it doesn't require you to purchase anything or do anything. It's just a great one to have in your pocket. And I like to do it in the morning. I don't like to do it at night simply because I don't like it to carry over into my dreams. I don't know if it ever would, but that's my thinking there, that I like having it in the morning, sort of feeling that, seeing if there's anything else I really need to do to close that emotion or feeling that I was having before moving forward my day. Okay, seriously, that's it. I'm going to stop talking. That's it. That is my plan for a more healing, whole holiday season with your eating. I hope it goes well for you. I can't wait to hear when you say something to someone like my body, my choices, things like that. Can't wait. I'm so excited. As I told you yesterday, it's 100% my purpose on the planet to help women heal from dieting. I have no doubt this is where I belong. The podcast, I love it. It's so amazing, such hard work, such great work, and I am honored to do it. If you enjoyed this and would like to keep working with me, I am offering a discount to my next course for you guys, because I think it's really cool that you've stuck with me through this seminar. So I am starting my last round of my course, Add More. And that's how to ditch dieting and get off that roller coaster by adding more good into your life. Okay, so it's a great course. It's going to go into what we call evergreen. So people will be able to see it online, but won't be able to interact with me the next time. So this includes 4 one-on-one hour calls where we'll talk, have questions and answers, and I'll give you a bunch of content. You'll have a workbook. You also get a one-on-one session with me to prioritize things that may be of interest to you and create a plan for moving forward. And this is just a really great way to set you up for success over the holidays and make you feel healed, whole, and amazing. That's what I want from you. So the course is $199 and I'm offering it to you guys through Sunday for $149. So if you'd like to do it, that's amazing. If you want to split it into 2 payments, you can. Just let me know. It'll be $75 this month and one next month. And I really am excited to work with you. If you know anyone that would like to come into the group and just be part of this, I will continue to do free seminars and share and learn alongside you and support you. And remember that fat doesn't own us anymore. Love you. Bye.